Welcome to Get a Life podcast with Kristen
and Steve.
Together, we are certified life and business coaches and consultants. Join us as we give you practical steps to realistic subjects based on our experiences that are attainable and you can apply to your life today to start seeing results.
We will talk about subjects such as time management, organizing your day, your purpose, getting beyond your past, and many other topics.
We want to help you take the next step. We will use our experiences and life journey to help you shorten yours. So grab a cup of coffee, put your earbuds in at your desk, or go for a run, and let's get a life together. Welcome to Get a Life podcast. I'm Kristen.
I'm Steve.
And today we are on episode 6. Last week we talked about resetting. I hope you guys were able to do that if you felt the need to. Today we're going to talk about distractions.
Dealing with distractions.
I think Steve would have to have a whole podcast about dealing with me because I'm a complete distraction because of my brain. I have an ADHD brain. But we're gonna try to get through this podcast. Funny enough, the whole time we were trying to do our notes for this, so many distractions were happening. It was unbelievable. So it's kind of obviously everybody deals with it because we were just trying to write the notes out. So
right. Everybody deals with distractions. You have job-related ones. You have personal life distractions. Everyone deals with them from time to time. So I'm going to start out my normal way. I'm going to give you a definition of the word distraction. So distraction means that which divides the attention or prevents concentration. So you may think, the reason why I like to use definitions is it causes you to think a little harder and it helps you zero in on some things. You may think, I really don't deal with daily distractions. Okay, think about it this way. What things in the course of your day divide your attention and hinder your concentration? And I bet you'll come up with a list of things that come up throughout the course of the day that cause distractions in your life.
yes, many.
Like what?
Good heavens. As a mom, a lot. I mean, you have distractions of your kids needing things, distractions of maybe somebody coming to the door. I say your phone ringing or your text, your phone. I talked to Steve a lot about this. Like there's even a setting on your phone. You can see how many times your phone has notified you of a notification or how many times you have actually picked up your phone that day. One time I checked, it was like I had picked up my phone over 80 times that day.
Just for different
because
reasons.
I was notified, like a text message, a phone call, a Facebook notification, an email notification, just a regular app notification, weather notifications. But 80 times I was distracted from what I was doing by picking up my phone.
Right. So
that is insane.
It can be a huge distraction. And the thing with distractions is there's unavoidable distractions.
Yes.
And there's avoidable distractions.
Yeah.
Unavoidable distractions can be, your phone rings. Your
because
children need something. Your spouse needs something. Your employer needs something. An employee, if you're
your
a
dog
management,
needs to go
something.
outside.
It's a huge mode of communication. Now the key is identifying avoidable distractions and unavoidable distractions and how to deal with them. In my job, I get multiple distractions throughout the course of the day.
And that would be probably most jobs.
Correct.
Right.
Most of them, they would be.
Right.
Some I can look at real quick and I can handle them. Some they have to be handled right now. I can't wait. So I have to look at those distractions. If I get an email or a phone call, or sometimes I'll get a text message because I have guys that work remotely from time to time, so they may text me a question or something I need to look at. Do I need to take care of this right now? Or can I write this down and take care of this later so I can remain focused on the task at hand?
Right.
That's very important.
Yes.
Remember when I talked about a few shows ago, making that list.
Yes.
This is where that list comes in handy again. I've already got my list of things to start my day out. Now along comes a distraction. Steve, can you look at this? Can you handle this? We need this done or that done.
Or your wife just texted you.
That is an unavoidable distraction. I have to handle it. But do I have to do it right now? No, I don't have to do it right now. So that now gets added to my list of things to do, and I prioritize it so that I don't forget about it. I can continue working on what I need to work on and come back to that later.
Right.
How do I deal with that distraction? So what about a distraction that comes along and I have to deal with it right now? I can't, I'm in the middle of something, somebody calls, somebody needs something, I now have to deal with this. What do I do? Now I gotta stop what I'm doing and handle this and somehow remember where I left off and come back. You can talk about that.
Well, I can talk about it, but for you, obviously, you probably have to write it down.
Again, it goes back to my list that probably annoys some people, me talking about my list, but
But it helps.
okay.
It makes them successful.
I'll write down where did I leave off and what I'm doing so that I can come back to it and try to regain momentum again.
For me, I do lists every morning of what I want to do, what are the goals, because I'm goal oriented, and it helps me stay on task because I have an ADHD brain, and there's a lot of things that I want to get done in the daytime. But I'm going to tell you that it's very hard. The biggest thing is awareness. Because my brain wants to do 5 things at once, and we kind of talked about multitasking, and I hope I'm not ahead of you on that in the notes. But I love to say that I'm such a great multitasker. But Sydney, my daughter, and I were talking about this one time. She's like, you're really not technically multitasking because you're still doing one task at a time. You're just not finishing anything.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? It's the truth. I'm not finishing anything. I have 15 things going and nothing is done. And that's causing more stress and chaos in my own brain because I have 100 things going. One example, this is ridiculous. I was out doing the laundry. I was putting the clothes in the dryer. Something grabbed my attention. Either the phone rang or the dogs needed to go out or someone came to the door. I finished doing that task. I come back in, turn the dryer on. So as I'm folding the clothes, I'm like, where are my clothes from yesterday? Like I washed. So I go and look. They're still in the washer machine. So sadly, I only had dried half of my load because my brain is who knows where. So that's where I had to say, okay, I have got to focus on one task at a time because I know I have ADHD. I know my brain wants to do 15,000 things at a time. I have to stand and finish a task. I can be doing other things, but each task has to be done. I have to tell my brain, stand here and fold.
To force yourself.
I have to force myself because I'm like, okay, the trash needs to go out, the cat litter needs to be done, and I'll just start going all over the place, and it's insane. Just focus.
Yep. And use tools to keep yourself in line.
Yes, notes
Making
help
a
me.
list,
Yes.
Whatever. I use my email as a tool.
Yeah, for your work,
this
yeah.
May annoy some, it probably would
I know.
annoy my wife, but
Yeah,
my
because-
email is a tool. My inbox and my email, my personal one and my work one, only has things left in my inbox that I still need to accomplish and do. When I'm done with an email, because in my job, email is our primary mode of communication. When I'm done with handling that email, it either gets deleted or moved to a folder. So if there's an email in my inbox, it's because I still have to do something about it in my personal one.
I think that's great.
If there's an email in my inbox, it's probably a bill that needs to be paid that isn't due yet, I haven't paid yet. It's there as a reminder so I don't forget. I pay the bill, it gets deleted or it gets moved to a folder. Now we don't take light either of, sometimes we have distractions in life that are real life crisis.
Yeah.
I mean, you get that phone call in the middle of the day that you weren't expecting to get, and it's a crisis of some sort. Or you've just got stuff going on in your personal life because life happens that can cause a distraction in the middle of the day. How do we deal with those? How do we work around those?
I think
That's
it's
not
by
easy.
staying. Yeah, it's hard. But if you have lists and be able to stay within some of that, it kind of helps alleviate when something big does happen.
Yeah,
Right?
That's right. It does. Helps to keep your focus. Even though I got all these things going on in my mind behind me.
Right.
It helps me stay focused.
Yeah.
And this is easier said than done. But sometimes we have to get to the point where we tell ourselves, there's nothing I can do about this.
Right.
I can't change this. I can't. So I need to somehow lay it down. That is typically, I'm not going to say in all cases.
Right.
But typically that's harder for men. Because by design, men are fixers. We're designed to fix things and find solutions to problems. So when there's a problem and I can't fix the problem, it drives me crazy and it distracts me. So that's where my list again comes into play to keep me focused. Even though I got this stuff going on in the back of my brain, it keeps me focused.
Right.
So we talked about some of those things that are unavoidable distractions that come our way. We got to handle them at some point in the day. But what about avoidable distractions? This really comes back to the whole time management skills that we talked about.
It does, yep.
You already talked about our phones.
Yeah.
Is a huge distraction.
I mean, for me, because the phone, I don't need my phone to operate throughout the day. Steve needs his phone because of work or whatever. So I don't have to have notifications on. I can shut those off. I can say between 1 and 3, I'm not touching my phone. And that helps you stay more focused because let's just admit it, back in the 80s and 90s, we didn't have phones for that distraction. Our lives are so much different than they were 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
I
Things
mean,
are different.
the distraction
Social media.
level is beyond at this point. So there's a lot to do with being aware of your time and of how you are going throughout your day.
Right.
How are you letting your,
Like
that's not making one bit of sense, but you got this.
No, my phone may ring. It's a work related. I got to answer.
You have to.
I may get a text message. I may get an email. I got to take care of that. But there may be times in the day where it's just a social media notification that I can just ignore until lunchtime.
Right.
Unless it's a Get a Life podcast notification. And you
And
put
you
your
need-
earbuds
yes.
in and you listen to it
Yes.
while you're working. But so it's being mindful of those things. What am I doing with those? How can I maybe pay more attention and stop some of these things from being a distraction that really don't need to be? It's an avoidable distraction.
Yeah.
There's a reason why most companies in today's world
Ah.
have a cell phone policy in place where there's a policy in their manual that talks about personal use of cell phones on the job. It's because it's become a big deal. It's how we communicate with everything.
It is. And
it's a distraction.
it is.
You can have momentum going and you get
Oh
a
my gosh.
Facebook notification and you go look at it and now your momentum's cut, it's stopped.
And then you
gotta
start
try
scrolling through Facebook for 15
And you-
minutes. You're
and
like,
you
what
gotta-
just happened?
and you got to try to pick up where you left off
Yeah.
and regain momentum doing what you're doing.
Yep.
So personal things, sometimes they can be unavoidable, but many times even our personal things are avoidable as far as stopping the distraction. You need to get groceries after work, and instead of writing the list the night before, you're sitting at work thinking of all the things, and you're sitting there at work writing your grocery list down. That's an avoidable distraction. It comes back to time management.
Time management.
Make the list before, the night before, or on my lunch break. I'll stop and I'll make my grocery
But before
list.
you even do your grocery list, get your menu for the week, ladies.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, because I know it's annoying. It is, and it's not a fun thing to do. It'd be funner to just sit on Facebook and scroll or watch Hulu. But so your life is less stressful, less chaotic.
Right. More organized.
More organized, and then it becomes just kind of natural for you. Like, okay, on Sunday night we do our menu. Monday I pick up my groceries, yada yada. However you
And
do
it
it.
seems like a lot of work.
It
And
does.
is.
It's
And-
a lot of awareness.
And it's hard for, and maybe annoying for the people that
Love
just
to
want to
just
live
wing it.
free and wing it.
Right, but are you stressed out? Then it's not working
Right.
for you.
And are you really accomplishing your purpose?
Right.
That way. You may have a project going on at home. This is what'll happen to me, and I go, okay, I need to do this and I need to do that. That's where my list comes in again.
Yeah, and I get on him sometimes because he likes
Write
to
it down.
I call him the donut runner because he doesn't get all of his supplies ready at first.
That may or may not be on purpose.
Correct. So he's constantly, I need some more nails. Yeah, okay. You knew you needed nails before the project, okay?
That may be on purpose. from
Correct.
time to time. You need to build in a break every once in a
Yeah,
while.
yeah. Okay.
So that's where the list comes in. Write it down. This works in work. This works in your personal life. This is my own thing. So I'm not saying you have to do it, but it helps me. We can't avoid appointments. This may seem like something simple, but you have a doctor's appointment, you have a dentist appointment, you have an eye appointment, your vehicle needs to be worked on. We can't avoid appointments, but it can become a distraction in the middle of your day.
Yes.
So this is me. This is what I do. I try to schedule my appointments at the beginning of the day, the first appointment in the morning that's available, the last appointment in the afternoon that's available, or around my lunchtime. Because it helps to schedule an appointment when your brain is scheduled to take a break anyway. Okay, I've not really started work yet, so I can go to my appointment first.
Right.
It's at the end of the day, I'm stopping work anyway, my brain stops. It's on my lunch break. I'm meant to
because
take
honestly,
a break right
after
now
you come back from an appointment, it's going to take you a good 30, 40
to
minutes.
get caught back up. But
Yeah.
when I go and schedule an appointment, and sometimes it's unavoidable, but it's at 2 in the afternoon or it's at 10 in the morning, it stops my flow of work. I'm stressed out the whole time. Ask her. I'm stressed out the whole time I'm at my appointment because it's in the middle of my work day. I need to be at work. My phone's probably ringing. My email's dinging on my phone, and I got stuff to do. I find it better and less chaotic and less distracting if I schedule those things around my normal breaks in the day, if at all possible.
Right.
I understand
Sometimes
that's
it's
not
avoidable, but
always possible.
right.
Those of you that live in the city, it's easier. Doctors will schedule appointments till 6 or 7 at night because we lived in the city once.
Or on the weekends.
Or on the weekend. Where we live in northern Maine,
we don't do that here.
everything shuts down at 4 o'clock. So you have to schedule appointments at some point in the middle of the day, so you don't have a lot of choice. But try to schedule those in a way so it becomes less distracting and cuts into your productivity the least amount. So distractions, we can't avoid them.
Nope.
They're impossible.
Yep.
Sometimes there are avoidable ones, like our phones and things like that. But sometimes there are unavoidable ones. It's all about bringing awareness
That's what it is.
that there are distractions in your
Yes.
life.
Yep.
How do I manage these?
Yep.
How can I deal with these a little better?
Yep.
Manage them a little better so I can have a more productive day and maybe a less frustrating day even.
Yeah. And maybe you can relax a little bit at the end of the day.
Right.
Because you feel like you accomplished things, the day wasn't so chaotic, and you can actually relax because
And life demands more. Like she
Oh,
said,
my
things have
gosh.
changed over. They're not the same where
They're
they were
not the
50
same.
years ago.
it is not.
Stuff moves fast. Society is at a faster
With
pace.
all the technology that we have right now, our brains, I don't know how they ever shut off.
Right. We live in a microwave society
Oh.
where everybody wants everything now. The faster things get, the faster we want them.
Yeah.
I mean, go get a new cell phone.
Yeah.
And the minute you buy that brand new cell phone that just got released today,
Oh, yeah.
it's already been replaced by one that they haven't released yet.
Yeah.
That's bigger, faster, better.
Yeah.
So that's the society we live in. So
It's
things
really
move
sad.
faster.
So I have a stove. It's a touch screen, you call
Yeah.
it? Touch screen stove, okay? Touch screen stove. And to shut off the burners, you have to hold the button and it says to lock it for 3 seconds. So I'm standing there and I'm like, oh my heavens, I never realized how long 3 seconds is. I'm like, okay, that's not okay. To be that impatient for 3 seconds.
But that's the society that we live in.
That's when you become aware of all right, we need to
There's
set
so much available. Employers want more out of their employees in today's world, in my opinion. There's more for our kids to do.
Yeah.
School, they got a lot going on. There's a lot of sports. There's a lot of things for them to be doing. So it's very easy to have a lot of distractions in the course of your day.
Yeah.
So I hope you got a few little small, simple,
I don't
practical
know if we're helping
tips
it.
today.
I hope so.
I'm sure we are.
I hope so.
I hope you got a few little practical tips to
I think-
carry you throughout the day.
Right, and the takeaways are just being aware of your day and how maybe you can help improve it a little bit.
Yeah, it's
Right?
awareness. And again, goes back to that simple definition. What are the things in your day that divide your attention and hinder your concentration?
Yeah.
Think about those things. What can I adjust? What can I tweak?
What can I eliminate?
What can I eliminate?
Some things you can't.
Some things you can. But how do I deal with this daily distractions that we all deal with?
I'm okay with the whole thing. I even try to get Steve when he comes home for lunch to just turn his phone over for 30 minutes. I said the guys at work or anybody are going to be okay for 30 minutes. For you just to eat your lunch, basically reset your mind in those 30 minutes.
It's tough.
It's hard for him. But I think even that would be a great, just for somebody to say at lunchtime, 30 minutes. That's all. You just don't even know the difference that would do for your brain. Or someone like me that doesn't need their phone, if their kids are with them, you don't need to worry about text. Between 1 and 3 o'clock, just stay off your phone. You just don't even understand how that would help you mentally.
Right. Stare outside. If you have
Yep.
a day off, just look outside.
Look outside. Like, what
Clear
would
your
you
brain.
have done
Clear your
if
brain.
you didn't have your phone?
Before I worked here in Maine, where I work now, I worked at our corporate office in Georgia, and I was inside an office setting all day long
Yeah.
with no windows, which I am now, but I have some windows, at least I can see outside. But I would always make sure, even if I brought my lunch with me, I went out for those 30 minutes and I would sit in my truck for
Yep.
30 minutes. I needed to get some daylight. I needed to get out from behind those computer screens, and it
Yes.
helped to reset my brain.
Yeah, even that is a little reset, like we
Right.
talked about the last
And
episode.
the last one, kind of reset my brain for the afternoon.
Yeah.
So little things that you can do to help with distraction and
Yeah.
staying focused. So anything else?
No, I think that's good.
Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Again, if you want to contact us, find out what we have to offer for life and business coaching, skyoungconsulting@gmail.com, or on Facebook at SK Young Consulting. See you next time.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast. Our goal is that you have some practical steps that you can implement today at Getting a Life. Don't forget to come back next week as we continue to talk about the subjects that will help you reach your life goals. If you want more information about what we do, you can reach us at skyoungconsulting@gmail.com. That's S as in Steve, K as in Kristen, Young, YOUNG, consulting@gmail.com, or our Facebook page, SK Young Consulting. And please share our podcast with your friends. See you next time, and remember, you control your day. Don't let your day control you.